as possible. The Newswatch 12 team works hard to deliver the most important stories from around the globe, local and national sports updates, and weather reports. We are NBC Newswatch 12, news from where you live. These days, news seems to come from all directions, and it can be overwhelming. Simplify your intake by watching News from Where You Live, WJFW NBC Newswatch 12. We deliver critical local and national news, sports highlights, and weather updates. Watch us daily on Channel 12. Visit us at WJFW.com or like us on Facebook. We are NBC Newswatch 12. You're watching NBC 12, from where you live.
This is like a before picture here, see?
Well, I'm hoping for a good after.
This week, we're upgrading the organization of Chelsea's laundry room to handle her growing family.
Oh, it looks so good, doesn't it?
Homeowners love a good, straightforward, practical approach to home improvement.
Not every home needs a total overhaul.
That's why we focus on small projects that'll make a big difference.
Oh, my gosh, yes!
Chelsea always has great ideas for homeowners.
And Dad's practical knowledge with his fun-loving attitude is why we've been around for so long.
The most realistic, most current home improvement information you're going to find anywhere. It's pretty slick, huh?
Families that improve their homes together stay together.
Today's homeowner is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Anyone going through a natural disaster, it's always going to be shocking, hard to understand at the very beginning. You never know it at first, but know that there's always hope. There is always going to be someone to help lift you up.
Each week, you welcome us into your home.
So we'd like to invite you to experience ours, Mobile, Alabama.
Enjoy an adventure on America's Amazon.
Foodies will love our blend of cultures and cuisine.
And there's always a celebration here in America's birthplace of Mardi Gras.
Whatever you're into, from history to adventure, we've got it.
So visit Mobile
And make yourself at home.
For over 2 years, I've been helping Chelsea and her husband Brandon renovate their mid-century ranch. One project at a time. We've transformed the exterior, the large family spaces, and all the bathrooms. So, let's see what's next.
We've kind of had a master plan in mind all along, so we're working on a few projects every year to accomplish that plan. And at the very end of the plan was renovating our kitchen, and that's where we are now. As part of our kitchen renovation, we reconfigured the laundry room to make access for a future addition. What that means for the laundry room is a smaller footprint, which means all of the square footage that we do have needs to be super organized.
Spider Guys, how was your day at school?
Can I hold Kayla?
All right.
Can I hold Kayla?
You want to hold her? Now that Claire is here, I have laundry to keep up with for 4 kids, and even though her clothes are tiny, still adds up. All of the stuff that was in the old laundry room is still in baskets on the floor and all over the place. So we just need some organization that helps make this smaller laundry room make sense. Gus, do you go to the library tomorrow? So we need to return your library book? The kitchen renovation went down to the studs, so we hired out the work to make it as fast as possible so we could get back in there as fast as possible. But that meant we spent a pretty penny on it. So I'm looking to save a little bit of money in the laundry room by doing it myself, and with Dad, of course.
All right, so
Hey, Dad.
I couldn't hardly get an invitation over here at all to help on the kitchen, and you want me to help you on the laundry room? Is that what's happening?
I just wanted to keep the room small for you.
Well, you're almost finished, aren't you?
Yeah, just have a backsplash, really.
Okay, what do you have in mind in here?
Well, I need So much storage. I know you and I both like to organize things.
Well, this looks like it needs a little organization. Just like a before picture here, see?
Well, I'm hoping for a good after. I actually don't mind doing laundry, but the utility part of this room is what's causing me a lot of frustration. There's nowhere to put our cleaning supplies or our iron and ironing board.
There's a lot of room, a lot more room in here than I thought. I thought it was just a regular, traditional 5-6 foot closet, but...
I mean, you see, I got started hanging that stuff up, but I still have so much stuff to put up. In addition to all of the functional storage space, we need some doors so that we don't have to look at the washer and dryer coming down the hallway. And so I can hide my stuff in there when I have my friends over. That's what my mom used to always do. Put in the laundry room. Don't open that door.
And you finally took me up on my offer to help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Good old manual labor.
Well, I mean, overhead, you got plenty of room for overhead. You've already got
Like
your
frames.
hanging. We can look at whether or not that needs to stay there.
Yeah, that might need to move.
And
And
then
then you see the air return
yeah.
to bump out in there. We always had our air return in the laundry room. It did get moved for the new laundry room configuration, but now there's this dead space above it that is just begging for some shelves.
Yeah, there's a lot of space here. A lot of good light, everything. I don't see any problem. As usual, the first step is playing moving man. I thought you were going to have all this cleaned out before I got here.
You should know me better than that by now.
You know, all the hundreds of projects I've done over the years, the homeowners always say it'll be all clean when you get here and we can go to work. Rarely is that the case.
Look at this. Antique.
Huh. That's an old one there.
An oldie but a goodie.
Still working.
It's my upstairs drill.
You got an upstairs and a downstairs drill?
That's right.
Okay, we don't have to lift these. We're going to slide them. I wonder how many of these things I've moved over the years.
If only you got paid for everyone you moved.
Oh, I didn't. Your mama doesn't pay very well.
Oh, it scratched up my floor so bad.
What happened to the floors?
The washing machine danced. It wiggled.
And it caused that?
Look how terrible.
On the brand new floor?
Brand new floors. I was so excited to run our first load of laundry after we got the kitchen put back together. I came back when it was done and the washing machine had moved 6 inches and it had scratched our brand new hardwood floors. Dumb that I am. I'm like, oh, that must have just been a fluke. So I ran another load of laundry and scratched it up again.
Where'd you get these? So Chelsea says, I don't want to lose that tool. I need it back in my toolbox.
They're not yours. Definitely not.
Look, DL.
Nope.
Right there. I have them encrypted.
CL, channel lock.
Just like the one I had in my toolbox last week.
Yeah. Okay, yours is probably still there because these are mine.
Put my initials on it.
No, you didn't. No, you did not.
I can real quick.
Yeah, I know.
With all the concern about germs, I was going to use this bacteria-killing spray to clean the surfaces here in the kitchen. But before doing that, I thought I'd practice what I preach here on Simple Solutions all the time and read the label. It's very important. But as you can see, the print is way too small. Even with my reading glasses, there's no way I could read that. So I thought I'd get a little assist from my phone. I was going to take a picture of the label. And now, with that photograph, you can very easily enlarge the print. How great is that? Makes it much easier to read, even without reading glasses. You know, you can make it as big as you need to. And I'm looking at this, and I see it says, for use on hard, non-porous, non-food surfaces. That would have been bad if I had sprayed this on the countertop, because obviously this comes in contact with food. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't read the label. So before you buy the product, take a picture of it and read that label.
After the break. I thought I'd make a donation to the laundromat. I'm helping where I can.
Today's homeowner is brought to you by Custom Building Products, North America's leader in tile and stone installation systems.
Everyone loves a great tile project, but no one likes the mess. Simple Mat is the solution. No mortar, no mixing, no mess. It's the quickest, easiest, and cleanest way to install tile and complete your project in one day. Simple Mat, available exclusively at the Home Depot.
Listen to our weekly Today's Homeowner Radio Show for practical ideas and information to make your house into the home you've always wanted. Go to today'shomeowner.com/radio to find out where it's available in your area or listen online anytime.
about your building, get professional results with Quikrete fast-setting concrete in the red bag. It sets hard in minutes. Find out more at Quikrete.com. Quikrete, for over 70 years, it's what America's made of.
Can we really trust him with a car?
Of course we can, Lindsay. With AAA Auto Insurance.
Wait, AAA has auto insurance?
We do home insurance, too.
Switch and save on AAA Auto Insurance and expect something more.
What are you guys doing?
We're excited for the American Marine Boat Show.
Yeah!
Join the excitement for the absolute best boat and pontoon deals you will find anywhere. Only this week at American Marine and Motorsports in Shawano. We're matching deposits up to $1,000. Or we will beat any competing price by $500. Don't be left out in the cold. Get to the American Marine Boat Show. This week, Thursday through Sunday, Shawano.
Can we really trust him with a car?
Of course we can, Lindsay. With AAA Auto Insurance.
Wait, AAA has auto insurance?
We do home insurance, too.
Switch and save on AAA Auto Insurance and expect something more.
We're clearing out Chelsea's laundry so we can make it more organized.
Easy enough, huh?
First edition cabinets.
All right, I've got your cabinets here, and let me go over with you how they should be hung. Okay?
I'm ready.
You know, people really get excited when they're hanging wall cabinets. What they forget a lot of times is the swing of the door. Will it hit a light? Will it hit something else around there? Or maybe in the case of a laundry room, will that washing machine lid be able to open and stay open?
So the decision is how far off that wall and how far off the ceiling.
Okay.
My suggestion...
Great. Go ahead. You have the floor, Dad.
Normally you do around 12.
Okay.
I think we can move this up a little bit because you're going to have that funky shelf in the middle here.
Yes.
So we maybe go up to 10.
Okay. So it'll clear the light fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
All right. How far off that wall?
Well, the light fixture is centered on the opening, so therefore I want the cabinet.
Doesn't have to do with anything.
Everything. Because this is more of a laundry closet, everything needs to be easily accessible from the door opening. So we're centering the cabinets and the washing machine and dryer on the opening. So that's center. So you put the two cabinets up next to that line.
What says C?
C for Chelsea.
No, for center.
Oh, okay. So we're going to install them and I'll paint them in place?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
At night, when I'm at home.
These are basic 30-inch by 30-inch wall cabinets that Chelsea picked up at the Home Depot.
The wall cabinets we carry here in the store, we do carry in a variety of sizes, ranging from 12 inches to 36 inches. Gives the homeowner the ability to mix and match and fill the size that they need on the wall.
While I hold the cabinets on our layout lines, Chelsea drives screws into the wall studs. On the second one, I return the favor.
I guess I'll go and get me a drink of water.
Don't even tease. I don't care who you are. Working with your arms above your head is hard work.
Okay, we're good. Let go.
Yep, need to work out a little bit more.
So I thought I'd help you out a little bit on the laundry you have to do, huh?
I think it's just fun. We usually hand off work to homeowners.
Yeah, you're enjoying this too much.
Also, I know you don't have your washer and dryer. You got the 4 kids. I thought I'd make a donation to the laundromat. So you can take this and go to the laundromat.
I'm going to take it. I'll take your pocket lint, too. Thank you so much for the quarters that I'm not going to use for laundry.
Yeah, where are my quarters then?
They're mine. You gave them to me. They're my quarters now.
You've been doing this your whole life.
Overnight, I primed the cabinets, so this morning, Dad and I can get started building the shelf unit above it.
You come up with any idea over here?
Well, originally I thought I wanted a countertop over here, but that just doesn't make sense. Like, there's not room to be in front of it to fold. So I was thinking if we could cover this up and then maybe even add shelves above it, that way we can just have a little bit more storage, cover up the air duct, and then maybe
that's gonna mess up your rod, though.
Right. I was thinking that it might even be easier to access the rod if it was attached here
to
here.
about the same amount, would you?
Yeah.
Huh. That sounds pretty good. Well, we could actually bring that up with some plywood, put the shelves in there.
Okay. And then I was thinking, match the height of this cabinet over here.
That's a good idea.
That way some symmetry, something.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also have a wall here that you might be able to mount something on. What about
I have my ironing board. Yeah, I have my ironing board I can hang.
All right, good.
I love hanging things on the wall.
It sounds like to me, that's me.
I'm going to help you.
Okay, all right, let's do it. So, 14 or 13? Let's go 13.
Yep. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
I'm begging you to help me, so I'm not going to be choosy about it.
Wow.
So I know what Chelsea really means, and you're welcome.
Don't pick on Dad too much, or he.
That's right, or he'll go get in his truck.
Nothing strikes terror into the heart of a homeowner like these words, frozen pipe or a leaky pipe. That can do a lot of damage, thousands of dollars worth of damage if it's not caught in time. Well, you can catch them in time now with this. Now, this is the Kidde leak detector and also freeze detector. Now, how it works, look how small this thing is. You simply just pop in the 2 AA batteries that come with it, and you put it on the floor anywhere that you've got water. Say it's a toilet or maybe a washing machine or even a refrigerator if you have an ice line. Any place where if that line breaks, there's going to be water damage. So how this works is that when it comes in contact with water, it immediately sends a signal to the Kidde app that you have on your smartphone. Also, if the temperature drops, it sends an alert too so that you can be aware of that so that your pipes don't freeze. And if the battery is low, it'll send you that alert as well.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Coming up, here's a shock.
I learned patience from you.
Today's homeowner is brought to you by Pavestone, creating beautiful landscapes.
If your outdoor living space is unattractive, it may simply lack a unifying theme. Use something simple yet versatile like patio paver blocks. Besides the surface of your patio, they can also be used to enclose your grill, create planting spaces, and construct interesting features like benches and fire pits. Using pavers with the dry stack method and a little creativity, you can tie all the elements of your outdoor living space together. And because pavers are as durable as they are beautiful, your design will look good for years. These tips brought to you by Pavestone, creating beautiful landscapes.
Homeowners have lots of decisions to make and lots of chores to handle, so we can all use a little help. That's why our free tips for today's homeowner newsletter is a must. Each week we deliver expert advice about maintaining and improving your home right to your inbox in a fully portable format. From seasonal projects and trends you need to know about to simple solutions you can't live without. Do yourself a favor and sign up today at todayshomeowner.com/subscribe.
Daddy's here. Your host, Woody Harrelson. And live with musical guest, Jack White.
Thomas is seeing somebody. Has he said anything to you about it? There's just been this lightness about him. It's pretty on brand. Probably just a brief fling.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
We're adding organization to Chelsea's laundry room, and this plywood is about to become a cool custom shelf unit. It can be a little bit awkward cutting a full piece of plywood on a table saw, but there's no better way to get those nice, accurate cuts you need when you're building shelving. Go your way just a half inch or so. Okay. Well, anytime you can stack several pieces of wood on top of each other and cut them at the same time, we call it gang cutting. It's a lot more accurate and you save a little time.
Should I glue it?
No, you just be patient. And learn.
I learned patience from you. Which means I have very little.
You picked the wrong mentor for that one. Well, I'm glad I could be such a positive influence.
Well, I didn't say positive. I just said influence.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm better than that.
Apparently not.
You may look and notice there are no stray nails. Oh, don't look over here. You may notice there's no stray nails that you can see at this time.
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah.
I won't tell him if you don't. All right, so where are we putting these 3 shelves?
Well, you can do a lot of measuring and marking to make sure the shelves are nice and square. Or you grab your square and it goes a lot faster, just as accurate. Now look, here. That's the center. You want to draw your mark right down to the very end of that, just to give you a little closer reference.
Okay.
Pencil. We're using the block trim to cover up the end grain of the plywood and just make it look a lot more finished.
Because these shelves are so deep, I really want to be able to prime them before we put them in place. That way I can access the shelves from both sides.
Meanwhile, I'm installing some heavy-duty brackets for a heavy-duty shelf that'll go in a little bit later. When the primer is dry, we move the shelf inside and nail it in place. Once the close rod is relocated, the day is over. So Chelsea can paint the cabinets and shelves overnight.
At the end of our kitchen renovation, we had all of our hardwood floors refinished, but we have yet to put the shoe molding back in place. So I'm going to start in the laundry room. That way I don't have to move the washer and dryer again.
Ah, already starting to work, huh?
I'm ready. I got all the shoe molding cut and stained.
Oh, it is stained and everything.
So I'm ready to install it, and then I thought you could help me get my washer and dryer moved back in today.
We don't need that move in.
Okay, well, I do need to wash some clothes.
So, yeah, I thought it might be.
We're running out of socks.
You're nailing that into the baseboard, not the floor.
That's right. You know it.
One mistake a lot of homeowners make when they're installing shoe molding is nailing it into the floor and not into the baseboard. The floor will move a little bit. The baseboard shouldn't.
All right, watch that wet paint. Ooh, you already touching it?
I got it.
Oh, sure did.
I saw no wet paint signs. I saw no yellow caution tape. You owe me a shirt.
It's latex.
You let me do it. You let me.
Yeah. Okay, now it's my
fault. And then you chuckle. That's what
I got you.
That's what hurt.
I'll wash it when you get my washing machine put back
in. You know, flexible dryer vents always seem to be kinked. The periscope vent will allow us to save a little room, make it more efficient in terms of being able to dry those clothes a lot quicker.
After our kitchen countertops were complete, there was a piece left over that I thought would make the perfect shelf to go above our washer and dryer. Now that Dad has the heavy-duty brackets installed, we can put that beautiful piece of stone countertop in place.
You know, a piece of stone like this weighs a little bit less than 100 pounds. That's why we had to have really good support to hold it in place.
It looks so good, doesn't it?
You would like it.
Now that we've made the laundry room all pretty, I'm ready to cover it up by installing the bifold doors.
First, the track is attached to the header. Then the pivot points are attached at the floor level. The pivot pins go into the top and bottom of the doors, and then we line them up with the pivot points before we make adjustments. You know, the basic process of installing bifold doors is not hard at all, but it's a little tedious in that you have to line everything up just right, and these little pieces can be a little fragile. You break one of them, you have to start all over.
I love it all. Well, I was going to paint them brown, but I kind of like them white. They're the same color as the wall. It's like a little tuxedo, like a little kitten. To wrap this project up, I'm touching up the scratches on the floor with a stain marker that will blend right in. And to keep the washing machine from dancing anymore, I'm putting a rubber furniture foot underneath the feet on the washer. Not only will this keep it from moving, but if it does get moved in the future, it's not going to scratch the floors. All right, up, down. Please stop. Don't scratch up the paint by being annoying.
Danny and the crew are always ready to answer your home improvement questions. Submit yours today at todayshomeowner.com/ask. Today's Homeowner is brought to you by Quikrete, what America's made of.
Anyone going through a natural disaster, it's always going to be shocking, hard to understand at the very beginning. You never know it at first, but know that there's always hope. There is always going to be someone to help lift you up.
The first ever Up North Community Expo will be held Thursday, March 2nd from 10 to 5 at the Hodag Dome in Rhinelander. Over 70 exhibitors from 7 counties will help you discover businesses, nonprofits, meet employers, and grow your network with free admission.
Emmerich Properties leases office, storage, and manufacturing space, as well as apartments, duplexes, and homes. We are your first call, your last call, your only call for your rental or lease needs.
When the owners of Kelk Land Improvement and Kelk Septic Service of Woodruff want the forecast for the Northwoods, they go to WJFW.com and check their hometown weather.
Available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty. An answer, uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
The first ever Up North Community Expo will be held Thursday, March 2nd from 10 to 5 at the Hodag Dome in Rhinelander. Over 70 exhibitors from 7 counties will help you discover businesses, nonprofits, meet employers, and grow your network with free admission.
Take Today's Homeowner with you wherever you go with one of our 8 weekly podcast episodes, all designed to help you find solutions that work for your home. From everyday repairs to planning projects for success. Search Today's Homeowner Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, find our channel, and follow.
Thanks to her kitchen renovation, Chelsea's laundry room was basically new, but terribly basic. There were no shelves or cabinets for storage, and there wasn't even a door to conceal the chaos. But now, the addition of some simple stock cabinets has elevated the look of the space, while it keeps much of what needs to be stored there out of view. The shelf unit over the air return utilizes what would have otherwise been wasted space. Plus, the bifold doors will cleanly cover up the clutter when Chelsea's not busy doing laundry, which oddly enough, I think she's relieved to be doing it again.
I can go 1, maybe 2 days without a washer and dryer, but 3 days is 1 day too many. So I'm so excited to have our laundry room put back together. I love the simplicity of having storage above our machines and covering the air return with more storage. And I love that the colors in here match the kitchen right next door. And we can close it all up with our new bifold doors.
With 4 kids in the house, that will be one busy area, and I'm glad we were able to make it more attractive and a lot more efficient. You know, Chelsea amazes me at all the skills she's developed over the years, and along the way, a lot of confidence as well. To be able to take on a complete, extensive kitchen remodeling without one single panic phone call to Dad, well, that's pretty good. Hey, I'm Danny Lipford. Thanks so much for being with me and Chelsea here on Today's Homeowner. Come see us again next week. No dancing in the laundry room, please.
Well, you can't dance in the laundry room. Where can you dance, Dad? Dad, I'm so proud you're measuring.
You scared me. Why are you hollering at me like that? right here.
Our local shelters have lots of furry friends in need of loving homes. Watch Newswatch 12 today, every Friday morning, to see a new cuddly cat or dog ready for you to adopt. Homeward Bound on Newswatch 12 today is sponsored by Paws and Claws.
Get your Newswatch 12 Trail Report every week on Newswatch 12 at 10, Thursday and Friday nights. And Newswatch 12 today, Friday mornings. The Newswatch 12 Trail Report is brought to you by these Northern Wisconsin and UP Ski-Doo dealers.
Looking to break into the world of broadcast television? WJFW is now hiring for various positions. Go to WJFW.com to apply. Don't miss this opportunity.
From the moments that shape our lives to those that shape our days, broadcasters are there, delivering the most trusted news that keeps you informed when it matters. We are your neighbors, a trusted voice, a lifeline. We are broadcasters. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Join the conversation when you're on the go. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date. Newswatch 12, from where you live. Weather Watch 12, weather from where you live.
Coming up, spy games. We'll take a look at the history of aerial surveillance. Also had the 5-second rule. Is it okay to eat something if it only touches the floor for a few seconds? Dr. John has the answer to that intriguing question. Then Paw Patrol. Instead of medicine, this team is delivering hugs and comfort to kids in Georgia. We're there with details. Plus, inspiring kids. One 12-year-old girl is helping to brighten the lives of kids in foster care.
When I heard that some foster kids might have to leave in the middle of the night, I thought that it might be scary because as a kid in my own home, I was scared of the dark. And so with a new nightlight in that new home where they may not know anybody, it would help them feel more safe and comfortable.
And Super Mario, the famous video game, comes to life, putting kids right in the middle of all the action.
This place is awesome. It was extremely fun because I got to play Mario Kart in real life. I think I'm really in the game.
We'll take you inside the new theme park that just opened.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It's great to be with you on this Saturday morning. I hope you're all enjoying the weekend so far. I'm on the West Coast this week, coming to you from Universal Studios Hollywood, a division of our parent company, NBC Universal. And if you or your parents are fans of Super Mario, then you are in for a treat. We're going to bring you details a bit later on. Also ahead, they are one of the slowest mammals on Earth, the sloth. What makes them so fascinating? We'll explain. But first, we begin with a story that's been in the news a lot lately, and that's the suspected Chinese spy balloon that floated across the United States and was shot down earlier this month. China says the balloon was simply a weather balloon that had drifted off course. But the United States government disagrees. We know this can sound scary or maybe even confusing, and it got us thinking about aerial surveillance. Did you know that aerial surveillance is nothing new? In fact, balloons have been used by countries, including the United States, to gather information for many years.
Spying, to watch secretly, goes way back in time.
Spying is older than the United States. It's older than Scotland, where I'm originally from. It goes back as far as human beings go back. So it's very, very, very old.
Just ask the team at the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C.
You maybe look, or you maybe listen to hear what they're saying, or you maybe read something, and you're basically just trying to figure out what the other side are doing.
Countries have been spying on each other for centuries.
Everybody wants to keep an eye on everybody else because we don't want to be surprised. As a result, we want to make sure we know what our potential enemies are up to.
One of the ways countries keep an eye out is through aerial surveillance, airplanes, satellites, and yes, balloons.
They're an old way of getting instruments aloft that can take pictures without endangering somebody who might be flying an aircraft.
Remember, surveillance means to keep a close watch on something or someone. Balloon surveillance is nothing new. In fact, it has a long history.
They were used very heavily in the First World War. We and the British used them in the Second World War.
Balloons have been used by countries to drop in places they aren't wanted, so officials can get information, or what is called intelligence. It's just one form of aerial surveillance. Did you know that pigeons were even used at one point?
We used pigeons during the First World War.
But then the idea was, what if we strapped a tiny camera to a pigeon? And then we send the pigeon up into the sky, and it takes photographs of what's underneath.
We tried out a way to use pigeons to take photographs, but that didn't work out very well.
Aerial surveillance has evolved over the years as countries, including the United States, determine what works and what doesn't. And it's an important way the U.S. tries to protect itself from the unknown.
Well, we want to keep the nation safe, and the only way we can do that is to make sure they know what potential enemies are doing.
All right, let's turn to our Medical Myths series. This week, our good friend Dr. John Torres takes a look at the so-called 5-second rule.
It's a common phrase heard when someone drops their favorite snack on the floor. Everyone yells 5-second rule, meaning if you pick it up within 5 seconds, it's okay to eat. But is it, or did that food get too germy in those 5 seconds? Well, that's a bit of a tricky answer. Now, germs don't have a timer, so as soon as food or candy lands on a surface like the floor, they start getting germy. But how germy it gets depends on a few things. First, the type of food. Soft or wet food, like fruit or gummy candy, collect germs a lot quicker than dry or solid food, like pretzels or nuts. Second, the type of surface. Tile floors transmit more germs to drop food than carpeted floors do. And third, how germy the floor is. If you walk around with shoes you've worn outside the house, it'll be germier than if you take your shoes off at the front door. But if you drop your food on the sidewalk, a playground, or the bus, well, it's best to just throw those away. Those are high germ areas. Now, it is true that the quicker you pick up the food, the less contaminated it gets. But my overall advice, unless you can rinse it off under tap water, it's best to just throw it out and pick something else to snack on.
Well, Dr. John, it's a question I've wrestled with before. Thanks for the answer. Now let's head to Atlanta, where one very special program is helping kids in the hospital find comfort and joy thanks to some four-legged friends. Our pal Kristen Dahlgren has the story.
Uno is making his rounds.
Knock, knock. David Craig, you have a visitor.
Instead of medicine, he's prescribing a dose of comfort.
It's our very own Paw Patrol.
Uno is a facility dog who's part of the Canines for Kids program at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the first of its kind in the country.
One of the most important things that they do is try and help our patients cope with being in the hospital. Reggie is one of our facility dogs who work alongside of people like me, an employee of Children's, to help our patients reach their goals, whether that's getting out of bed after having surgery or helping, reduce some of the stress that they might have when it's associated with a illness or being in the hospital. So our dogs can be a huge part of their stay.
There are 14 facility dogs on the team, each dedicated to a specific unit.
It can be kind of scary being away from home. So having a dog alongside of them for those tests or for their teaching, their education, learning about that new diagnosis is such an important part of their job. And there has been research that shows that someone coming in with a uniform, if a dog's alongside of them, that the level of stress is lessened.
The dogs are specially trained from birth.
One thing that differentiates therapy dogs from facility dogs is that therapy dogs aren't taught from birth like these dogs. So they learn what it's like to walk on the slippery floors of a hospital. They learn what the different sounds are, like they might hear of an IV machine that's beeping. So that way when they're ready to come to work after about 2 years, those things won't be new to them.
Considered to be part of the staff, these canines even have their own badges.
I forget how much she loves you, Sharon. It's like making Flo's day.
13-year-old Sharon is celebrating her birthday here in the hospital with Flo by her side.
It was my birthday, but she just made my whole day. I kind of know her from when I was little. I've been coming here a lot, and she's kind of one thing I look forward to. Always a great time when I see her. Flo is kind of like my best friend because every time I see her, she's just makes my day, and I don't have to be here and be sad. I just think of her.
Our dogs help our kids feel better and get better. I've gotten to see their heart rates improve and then get up and around to play with the dogs. It just makes them get better quicker.
Helping them recover and providing a sense of home. Aries is on hand to assist patients like Sebastian to walk.
Aries helps them encourage kids to walk.
And Children's even has a new pen pause program, giving patients the chance to exchange letters with their furry friends. David has a handmade one ready to go.
This is my pen pal to Una, and it says, Dear Una, I would like to go on a walk with you again.
These dogs here in the hospital that are trained to work bring joy to these kids, and it really provides a great distraction for them.
It's kind of like exciting, and I feel so calm and happy. It just kind of makes my day.
And it's just what the doctor ordered.
All right, Kristen, thank you. All right, now time for our pop quiz. The question this week, which of the 7 continents has the most countries? A, Africa, B, Europe, or C, South America? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. All right, time's up. The answer is A, Africa. Africa is the continent with the most countries. There are 54 countries on the African continent fully recognized by the United Nations. All right, just ahead, one girl is shining a light on an important cause, helping some kids feel safe.
With a new nightlight in that new home where they may not know anybody, it would help them feel more safe and comfortable.
Also, they are slow-moving and spend most of their time in trees. What is a sloth? We have the answer and more. Plus, calling all you Marvel fans, Jackson Daly goes one-on-one with the stars of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I need you to be the Ant-Man.
Paul, you've been playing Scott Lang for 8 years now, and this is your 3rd movie. How does it feel?
It's amazing. It's such a fun part to play. It's an amazing thing to be working with Marvel, working with people like Catherine and other great actors, and just to be a part of something that, has such a fervent fan base all over the world.
Then we'll take you inside this new theme park that just opened, putting kids right in the middle of a popular video game. Can you say Super Mario?
I wanna hold you. Hey, little bear.
Come on, Bear.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and the powerful rush of Vicks Vapors for fast-acting relief you can feel. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Fast relief you can feel.
I like to move it. You like to move it.
We're reinventing our network.
Move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it.
Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service.
When cold symptoms keep you up, try Vicks NyQuil Severe. Just 1 dose starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. For max strength nighttime relief, NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, best sleep with a cold medicine.
Addressing climate change requires effort from all of us, now and for generations to come.
Join Dylan and me as we get personal about the environment and how we can each do our part. The more you know.
Watch our conversation on Peacock. Who wants to hear a story?
Once upon a time, there were 3 Billy Goats.
The tiniest Billy Goat Grunt.
The biggest Billy Goat Grunt.
Roared the troll because
a leech from eyes as killed the sauces.
The Billy Goat was so heavy that the bridge
up was a bridge they had to cross. And under. Why, thank you.
To hear a story.
once upon a time, there were 3 Billy Goats.
The tiniest Billy Goat Grunt.
The biggest Billy Goat Grunt.
Roared
I just walked by and I said, "What's happening, guys?" And they told me they were making music.
Is the way you walk, is the way you talk.
They said I could play, so any chance to play at all. You know, that's my life. I love music.
Yeah, I saw it do it.
Weather Watch 12. Weather from where you live.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. In this week's Inspiring Kids series, we introduce you to one sixth grader from Arkansas who's helping to brighten the lives of kids in foster care. 12-year-old Amelia Lissaway has a passion for volunteering.
I love volunteering, and I've been volunteering my entire life.
And it was her desire to help others that gave Amelia a bright idea, quite literally.
When I heard that some foster kids might have to leave in the middle of the night, I thought that it might be scary because as a kid in my own home, I was scared of the dark. And so with a new nightlight in that new home where they may not know anybody, it would help them feel more safe and comfortable.
In 2018, Amelia started collecting night lights for kids in foster care in Arkansas. Foster care is a temporary living situation for children whose parents are unable to care for them.
I went to my school counselor and I pitched this idea that every kid could bring in $1 for Hat Day, and then we would use all of the money to buy night lights to donate to foster kids.
From there, things blossomed.
Okay, do those in there.
We started getting a lot of donations and became an official nonprofit.
15, 16, 17.
With the help of donations and volunteers, Amelia's organization, Lissaway's Lights, now has donated more than 15,000 night lights to foster care organizations in all 50 states and 9 countries.
I know that I'm helping some people in the world that really need some help.
They also hold in-person events for some kids.
There we go.
And the 6th grader even has a team of kid ambassadors.
So each of them will get 25 nightlights, and then they'll make some handwritten cards, and then we also have some pre-made cards so that they can put these as well as their handmade cards into the boxes. It's a way to get the younger generation involved with foster care so that when they grow up, they're more excited to help.
It takes kind of the mind of a child to sometimes say, I'm going to help foster kids by letting them be less scared of the dark.
One girl shining a light on an important cause.
A nightlight is a sign of faith and hope in that dark situation where you may be scared. What kind of led me to create Lissaway's Lights was one of our family mottos, and it's find something you're good at and use it to make the world a better place.
All right, let's turn to the animal world now, and one fascinating mammal that has many kids wondering just what are they. Here's our friend Dylan Dreyer.
What slow-moving mammal spends most of its life in a tree, sleeps for up to 20 hours a day, and has grayish-tan fur? If you guessed a sloth, you'd be correct. Sloths live in the tropical forests of Central and South America, and while these cuties look like monkeys, they're actually related to armadillos and anteaters. But you don't have to travel all the way to the rainforest to see these guys in action. In fact, the Denver Zoo recently welcomed a baby two-toed sloth to their family. Parents Charlotte and Elliot couldn't be prouder.
We're really happy to announce the birth of our new baby sloth. It was born on January 26th. When we looked and we saw the baby, she was nursing already, and she looked really happy. She was just sitting on Mom's belly.
I wanted to learn more about this little guy, so I asked the zookeeper a bunch of questions. How much do sloths weigh?
An adult sloth weighs around 19 pounds.
What do they eat?
Sloths eat a variety of vegetables like carrots, sweet potato. They like apple, they like pears, and they also get kind of a biscuit. Like if you eat cereal in the morning.
Why do they live in the trees?
So in the wild, they live high up in the trees. They're an arboreal animal, which means they live in the tree canopies, and that's surrounded by a lot of leaves. So they grab those leaves, and they'll eat the leaves, the flowers on the trees. There are different species of sloths. There's actually two-toed sloths, like we have here at the Denver Zoo, and three-toed sloths, which have 3 toes on their front ends.
As for the new baby's name, well, the zoo needs your help.
Right now, we know that our sloth is a baby boy, but it doesn't have a name yet.
The Denver Zoo is having a naming fundraiser with all proceeds going to the care of their animals. There are 3 names to choose from: Rain, Wicket, and Cappuccino. If you want to vote, ask your parents for permission and head over to denverzoo.org. I think he looks like a cappuccino. Stay tuned and welcome to the world, baby.
All right, Dylan, thanks so much. I learned quite a bit there. Well, for all you Marvel fans out there, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has arrived. The 3rd movie in the Ant-Man franchise is playing in theaters right now. Our pal Jackson Daly had a chance to catch up with 2 of the film's stars, Paul Rudd and Catherine Newton. And kids, the movie is rated PG-13, so you may want to grab a parent or grown-up before watching.
You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Turn it off. Now!
Can you guys say your names and the characters that you're playing?
I'm Catherine Newton, and I play Cassie Lang.
And I'm Paul Rudd, and I play Scott Lang.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah.
Ant-Man.
But also Cassie's dad.
Cassie's dad, yes. I'm Ant-Man's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, can you explain Ant-Man's powers, please?
Yes. So, Scott Lang, he doesn't really have any actual innate superpowers, but if he puts on this suit, he can shrink down to the size of an ant, maybe even a little smaller, while still retaining serious strength. He can also grow really big, so he can kind of control how big and small he gets, and he also can talk to ants. It sounds ridiculous even as I say it.
I need you to be the Ant-Man.
Paul, you've been playing Scott Lang for 8 years now, and this is your 3rd movie. How does it feel?
It's amazing. It's such a fun part to play. It's an amazing thing to be working with Marvel and working with people like Catherine and other great actors, and just to be a part of something that, you know, has such kind of a fervent fan base all over the world, and people who love Marvel comics, and you know, to get to kind of work in this arena with such amazing people is a blast.
You know, if I had something like this when you were gone, I could have found you.
Catherine, we've seen Cassie before, but not like in this movie. Can you tell me about the growth?
Well, it's just a different phase of her life. She's older now. I think we really wanted to show her relationship with her dad, you know, at the heart of the story, and show who she is. And she definitely leads with her heart, which can lead to a lot of trouble, because she's very impatient and kind of messy and kind of clumsy, just like me. I'm sorry.
Catherine, when you were my age, did you ever dream about being a Marvel superhero? Because I do.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
I was 8 when I started dreaming, and I'm definitely proof that dreams come true, because mine did, and I totally wanted to be a superhero, 100%. How are you going to be a superhero? What are you going to do?
No, I'm not 100% sure
Look at
yet.
this. He's 13 and he's interviewing us on the news. I think you're doing pretty well,
You
Jackson.
kind of look like a superhero right now, too, because, like, we're meeting you on this tripod thing.
You got a sweet guitar over your shoulder.
You're out of your league, Ant-Man.
What do you want people to take away from this movie?
Well, I think we just kind of hope that people like it. Want them to be kind of moved and wowed, and they have some laughs, and then they get scared, and then they think about how they might change their life going forward in some constructive way, and we just hope you really like it.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
Jackson, thanks very much, my friend. Great interview. Finally, Super Nintendo World just opened its doors here at Universal Studios Hollywood, bringing the Super Mario video game literally to life and putting kids and grown-ups right in the middle of the action. We get details now from our good friend Gotti Schwartz.
Super Mario, the video game beloved by millions over 4 decades, now brought to life in vivid reality.
When you guys came through the castle and you saw this, what'd you think?
Amazing.
Amazing.
I think I'm really in the game.
This is Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood.
This place is awesome.
Super Mario's been with my childhood. Me and my siblings just childhood. My parents also used to play it. That's why we came here. We wanted to experience it like in real life.
It puts Super Mario fans right inside the Mushroom Kingdom, sweeping them into a 360-degree world with Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach as they take on the evil Bowser and compete with fellow players for victory.
Who is this for?
You know, it's really for everybody. I mean, it's been really rewarding. I've seen kids come out at 6 years old and they come out in the land and they scream, and I've seen 50-year-olds come out and scream.
It was extremely fun because I got to play Mario Kart in real life.
And here we are, the main event, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, with tech so advanced it has never been seen before at a U.S. theme park until now. Let's go!
The Mario Kart ride is quite the thrill.
It was spectacular. It literally feels like you're in an actual Mario Kart game.
The interactive ride combines technology and the real world, putting the game right in the middle of your path as you try to beat Team Bowser and win the Golden Cup.
I'm excited because I really like Mario Kart, and it's really like thrilling and fun when you race, and it gets you like pumped up.
Universal Studios says the ride is designed for people of all sizes. And speaking of interactive, you can also purchase a power-up band that syncs with the free app, allowing you to collect coins and keep score like in the game.
Mamma mia!
Whenever you find like a block or something, you have to hit it with your band, and then you can get points.
This land, a treat for Super Mario fans of all ages.
Like my mind is blown, like I recognize so much things.
So it's almost like you've been here before, but you've never been here before.
Growing up, I would see videos about it, especially the one in Tokyo. And especially about the movie, it's very exciting.
A magical world where players literally become part of the game.
It's a really fun experience, and like I learned a lot about Mario that I never knew even existed in Mario.
Gotti, thanks very much. We should mention again that Universal Studios Hollywood is a division of our parent company, NBC Universal. Well, that's going to do it for us parents. Just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com. You can also follow us on Instagram @NightlyKids. And just a program note, you can catch a new episode of Nightly News Kids Edition every Thursday on NBCNews.com and YouTube, and streaming on the weekends on NBC News Now. We're everywhere. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to take care of yourself and each other. So long for now.
Watch NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, or listen wherever you get your...
Some places have the power to transform us, connect us, move us. This is the power of place. The power of parks and open spaces to improve cities, communities, and ourselves. This is the work of the Trust for Public Land, putting open space within reach of every person in America. Help us create the power of place and healthier, happier communities nationwide.
If I ride, I will know the way the trees smell after the rain. I will grow a heart so strong that hospitals will take Tuesdays off. If I ride, road rage will turn into laughter, and oil tankers will haul chocolate milk. And I won't be a boy or a girl. I will just be a rider.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall
anything
over.
he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day.